to another episode of Random Kick-Ass Shit with old Uncle Slade. On this episode of Random Kick-Ass Shit with old Uncle Slade, we're gonna talk about some esoteric, scary fucking stuff regarding shadow people, things that aren't even anthropomorphic, and what's up, guys? It's another episode of Random Incoherent Ramblings with old Uncle Slade, otherwise known as vital social issues and stuff with your rogue, renegade, reverend, Pastor fucking Slade. Yeah, guys, so I'm a very crass-ass person, and people won't take me seriously unless I put my dick in their mom, and they're forced to call me dad, because not a lot of people exist anymore that could whoop my ass since, like, the time of Spartacus, or, you know, I don't know, fucking the Battle of Midway. So anyway, guys, this is a true-ass motherfucking story and stuff, and I say the same fucking shit all the fucking time, so if you happen to be on my channel, look up my other videos, I'm just more cognizant saying the same fucking story, so I'm trying to adjust this fucking shit. Damn it, motherfucker. I hope you guys can still hear me. Yeah, man, so let me try to get started here, and fuck yeah, and I hope you can hear me, yada yada yada. A little bit of context into why you can't see my face. If you ever, I'm like a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a fuck how crazy people think I am. Long story short, a lot of things my dad told me growing up, like how like China would be a superpower, we'd have a fucking recession by a certain time, all this shit actually all fucking happened. The guy's a walking history book. And if you ever read the book 1984, you know, I'm a libertarian. I'm all about that free speech, and I really believe there's gonna come a time where people are gonna dox motherfuckers for believing in free speech, and they're gonna be like, oh, fuck that guy, he has no rights, like fucking goddamn, like end times fucking precursor to Armageddon shit. So let me jump right the fuck into what the fuck. Say the same shit all the time. So if I have enough time, I'm going to discuss to you that in my lifetime, I think I saw the Hat Man or some kind of shadow people. You can YouTube or Google that. I seen an orb for fuck sure. My stepbrother saw that shit too. I know you can only take my word on it. I believe I saw some kind of anthropomorphic motherfucking demon of lust or some shit. And a lot of horrendous fucking sleep paralysis and stuff. And I think I saw 2 UFOs. Now look at, if you think I'm full of shit, if you're an atheist, an agnostic, what they call a naturalist, a materialist, I really respect that. I understand how religion and spirituality stuff has fucking let people down. I would otherwise be the same kind of person. I was very open-minded to the plight or apologetic of what the fuck I might have seen via, you know, sleep paralysis. That's really just a fucking mind fuck, a fucking brain glitch. I was really open-minded to this, and you know, I'm not making a dollar fucking telling you these stories, so you could believe them or not. I assure you that they're true, and you can surmise your own guess into what the fuck you think happened to me, if I'm just crazy, if I have too much time on my hands. Yeah, sure. Oh, another thing, I'm like just out in the boonies out of nowhere. I'm a night guard because I suck working with my hands, like your typical, stereotypical fucking millennial, right? So yeah, whoop de fucking do. I guess you could say it all started that when I was a kid, right? Okay, well, here's another disclaimer. Now, I really saw an orb that was like a physical fucking, thing that like even other witnesses, my stepbrother, saw. Now sleep paralysis, yeah, I can't prove that shit, like a fucking shadow demon fucker, was really fucking materializing out in the fucking blue. I can't prove that. I can't prove to myself that was just some kind of nightmare. Shadow people and shit. I'm telling you that I'm gonna sound crazy right now. Like I had visions of demons. Like over in the yonder, you could see a tree, right? Now, I know that, like, if a security camera was going on or someone else was there, they wouldn't have saw that same shadow. But I was a kid, and at the time, I was very, my overtly religious family would not let me watch any horror movies. At that time, the horror movies would have been like Gremlins, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street and shit. I wasn't even allowed to watch shit like that. And then some people will argue, well, that makes your fucking brain want to know what's in Pandora's box even more, right? Who knows? So anyway, I was the only child and shit, and one day, one of my mom's friends is coming over to visit, and I got kind of excited because now the house is going to be lively, there's going to be discourse or fraternization, and I'm going to get to show off my toys or like how smart I am, that like I learned how to read and write and like say somewhat big words pretty fairly early in life, for example, even though I sound like a belligerent fucking stoner, I know, I'm cognizant enough to know that I sound like a fucking lay asshole. So, my mom wants to pretend like no one's home to ditch this chick coming over, and I kind of got sad, because I realized it's going to be another mundane day. And bro, I'm telling you that I fucking I briefly, like it was a snapshot, like an instant. I was like, what the fuck? Like I had like a daydream out of nowhere, as if I went to a fucking world, and the world is like, it's like a place or a fucking room, and it's like, I want to say dank, dark, very gloomy. The backdrop color is like a blue, like a very depressing looking blue, and in the middle of this room is, I believe it's the demon of depression, right? In the middle of this room, okay, one, this place has no time. And ironically, like 20, 30 years later, right, I'm watching like people that supposedly died on an operating table or something like that. They were clinically dead for a minute. They bounced back to life. They said they seen the afterlife, and their first notion is there's no time. So I'm like, dude, they say you have no memories before 5 years old. Well, fuck that. I got a lot of memories in. I want to say I was like 3 or 4 years old, man. But, maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, in the middle of this room, I always said it was some kind of like malignant, contorted, fucked up looking tree splashed with tar. Some extremely unanthropomorphic fucking like shadow, fucking the most ugliest fucking formless fucking thing you can imagine. Like if somebody splattered it with tar and shit. And like during the nighttime, starting at 5 or 6 years old, sporadically or periodically, I would feel like that shit's watching me in the distance, and I didn't want to think about it. But during the daytime, when I would, it's daylight, you're not scared, I would freak my parents out trying to draw shit like this. Like I would draw, like I was trying to like make sense of what I probably fucking saw. And like you can tell that there's no time in this place. It's very gloomy. There's some kind of shadow thing in the middle of the place, and fucking, it's cognizant. It's something like dead but fucking alive. It's like aware of you, but you don't know what the fuck that is, man. I want to say it's the demon of depression, and years later, I can understand how someone would figure that's the Hat Man, because I thought it was like a tree, right? I wouldn't hear of the Hat Man until like fucking 30 something years later, yada yada fucking yada. So yeah, that shit would always creep me the fuck out. And I want to say, I know there's a lot of good-hearted pagans out there, but I had my tarot card shit read when I was like around 10 years old, and I want to say that exacerbated the feeling of foreboding presences, the feeling of being watched. I was a latchkey kid, so like on and off, starting at fucking 10 years old, I want to say, on a give or take 10 years old. I'd be like in a 2-bedroom apartment all alone, freak the fuck out. Now, I understand how like atheists or rationalists or fucking people that, only think supposedly scientifically, materialist, naturalist. Oh, it's always in the corner of your eye. Oh, the shadow's always lurking in the closet. Oh, the shadow's always in the corner of the room. Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying, but then again, man, it's like these things are furtive and they want to stick to the shadows, like as if you're doing something nefarious, like a fucking schizophrenic lunatic, aware that they're fucking shady as fuck, and they want to stick to the shadows, and they forsake the light so their deeds don't become manifest. I don't know. I'm kind of getting biblical now. Anyway, so yeah, and then okay. I did fall asleep in a bathtub one time. I was like, I want to say 9 years old, and I had a dream of some fucking, like 3 or 4 fucking monstrosities looking at me. And one thing was like some blue fucking cyclops monster. That was pretty crazy. All these things are like very brief, boom, like that, and then like again, during the daytime when you don't feel scared, your parents are awake, or you're not alone in the house, you kind of fucking play with your fears, and you try to like go back into your memories and fucking figure out what the fuck that looked like. Okay, I'm about to get way crazy on you guys. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going in order. 16 years old, sleep paralysis started hitting me like a motherfucker. And then one time I could have swore like I probably was just having a dream, right? But sleep paralysis, like I remember I'm asleep, but I wake up and I can't move. And it started like that, where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Do I just give in and try to go back to sleep? Am I gonna die? No, I'm gonna fight this and try to shake myself awake. And I do believe calling on the name of Jesus Christ did help, because the episodes would would only last so many seconds or whatever. I wish I had more fucking time. I would like to expound upon how I was living then, and like all my fucking woes and cares of life and shit like that probably exacerbated madness, so that you could decide for yourself if it was self-induced or this is really a spiritual thing. But I could have swore, like in the distance, that hat man guy, I didn't think it was a hat man. I would have figured it's that shadow tree thing, was starting to materialize in the distance, man, like in the middle of a hallway going to a bathroom. And of course, so when I finally popped out of that shit, I run the opposite direction to the kitchen light, right? So like what the fuck are you doing sleeping with the light off? No shit. That went to an end pretty right away. And then years later, I'm hearing, like, I don't know if it's like George Norrie or some kind of fucking radio program about shadow people, talking about like something along those lines, about how the red eyes are round, because when I always draw red eyes, they're like very devious looking and kind of squinty. No, they were round. And like I was like, did I really see that? Was that just in my imagination? Like, fuck, dude. Like, it's like, out in the dark distance, it's even darker there. This gets really interesting. Okay. There was some stupid toy that I never had. I just saw the commercial. You ever seen sea creatures? Like the motherfucking, the cartoon of it. Like the picture that they draw when it comes, that you get the toy, I guess. The sea creatures people. Okay, man. So I'm like, I'm